The title is inspired from a quote from Dr. Strangelove, and it is titled, You Can't Reflect Here, This is the Prayer Room. And, thank you, I appreciate that. And it's a poem about breaking the cycle of violence and the cycle of abuse and cycles of negativity that can perpetuate. We didn't renovate the war room into a space for serene contemplation because we wanted a temple of charming irony. We did it to make that place over in the image of its original purpose, as every war room with a long meeting table, an ominous map, and hushed voices, grand declarations, started somewhere as a desperate desire for an area free from the constant anxiety of espionage and the trauma in an anonymous artillery barrage that, if careless, can mutate into mirrored aggression, gradually meeting the opposed oppression, an equal and opposite reaction rooted in a twisted attraction to what we most despise, and a preference for anger's illusion of control, as well as pride, over a perceived patheticism in being aware enough to negotiate the encroaching, all-encompassing chasm. Thank you so much. I appreciate Sky mentioning Shakespeare because that's one of my covers I'm going to do next. I'm currently teaching Midsummer Night's Dream to my grade 9s and Macbeth to my grade 10s. I teach in the Peel District School Board. And a couple weeks ago I featured at Buddies in Bad Times Theatre. And unfortunately my Shakespeare recitation was one of the ones that I kind of screwed up a couple lines on. So I'm going to try for some redemption here. And this is my favorite passage from A Midsummer Night's Dream. And we're about to read this scene actually tomorrow with my class. And it's where Duke Theseus and Hippolyta find the lovers outside the woods, and Duke Theseus is not sure whether to believe all these strange stories of fairies that the lovers are telling from the woods. And he talks a little bit about creativity and madness and makes a kind of a very relevant speech. More strange than true, I may never believe these antique fables, nor these fairy toys. Poets and madmen have such seething brains, such shaping fantasies that apprehend more than cool reason ever comprehends. The lunatic and the poet are of imagination all compact. One sees more devils than vast hell can hold, that is the madman. And the poet, in fine frenzy rolling, doth glance from heaven to earth, from earth to heaven. And as imagination bodies forth the forms of things unknown, the poet's pen turns them to shapes, and gives to airy nothing a local habitation and a name. Such tricks hath strong imagination, that if it would but apprehend some joy, it comprehends some bringer of that joy. Or, in the night, imagining some fear, how easy is a bush supposed to bear, but all their minds transfigured so together grow to something of great constancy, howsoever strange. And this is an original one called Phantom Ship Lighthouse. It goes like this. I mastered making melodies on a kazoo and still descended into the darkest depths of madness for comparing my tone's material yield to that of Paganini's elegant violin virtuosity, because I coveted the energies washing over idols more than the auras of figures emitting compatible frequencies wherever they may be, in shrouded highlands, past remote highways, or somewhere between ancient libraries, filled with emotionally emaciated people, desperately seeking but never finding, tones whose words are an explanatory transcription of these unusual wavelengths we walk on in isolation. And to finish off, I'll just do my last little Shakespeare cover, and this is I love from one of my, again from Hamlet, although I also kind of first got tuned on to this passage from its recitation at the end of With Nail and I, when Richard E. Grant does it at the zoo for the wolves. And I don't have a bottle of wine in front of me, and you're not wolves, and nor am I covered in rain, but we'll see how it goes. And nor am I Richard E. Grant. I would kill to have his voice box just put in. I have, of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, foregone all custom of exercises, and indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air, look you, this brave overhanging firmament, this majestical roof fretted with golden fire, why, it appears no other thing to me than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is a man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculty, in form and moving, how express and admirable. In act, how like an angel, in apprehension, how like a god, the beauty of the world, the paragon of animals. And yet, to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Thank you so much.